Earlier, I asked you to consider the implications for physicalism on these experiences we have called thoughts. If physicalism is true, what exactly would be the nature of this experience we have called a thought about something? And now I want you to consider what the implications of physicalism would be for a particular kind of thought, a belief. So what exactly is a belief? It's a kind of thought. What's its nature? So think about Franny smells smoke and calls the fire department because she believes her house is on fire, right? So Franny takes in the sense data through her sense of smell, processes it into information, and then that information then leads to this experience of a belief. Well, what exactly is that thing called belief? Is it the same as Pavlov's dog hears the bell ring and then salivates because he believes food is coming? Are these the same experiences? Are Franny and the dog having the same kind of experience in response to the sense information? Franny takes in some smells and develops a belief that leads to action. The dog hears a bell and then salivates because it believes food is coming. Are these the same kinds of events, same kinds of experiences? What about the bird that pokes at the ground because it believes a worm is beneath the surface? Does the bird believe that? Why is the bird doing this? Franny decided to call the fire department because of a belief. Is the bird pecking at the ground because of a similar event occurring in its brain? What about the amoeba that oozes around a particle because it believes it is food? Right. So again, you have behavior occurring. You have a child calling the fire, or Franny. I don't know if she's a child. I just gave you a picture of a child. Franny calls the fire department. The dog salivates. The bird pokes. The amoeba oozes. Are these all doing these behaviors as a result of beliefs? And I ask you this because it seems like all behavior is, except reflexive behavior, is rooted in beliefs. And the belief is as simple as, I should do this. I should pick up this can of water. I should write with my ink pen, right? So it seems like all behavior is rooted in a belief about how we should be responding to the environment around us, how we should be responding to the circumstances that we find ourselves in. Is that what the amoeba is doing? What about the heater in my house? When it turns on, is it because the thermostat believes the house is too cold? Is the thermostat having an experience of belief that is different in degree, but not in kind, from what Franny is experiencing when she smells the smoke? Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're thinking like, no, the bird is operating on instinct. The dog has just been conditioned by repeated experience to come to expect the food. The amoeba is just sort of, who knows why it's doing what it's doing. Maybe not even instinctual. You might just say it's just responding, right, to some sort of stimuli. And you're probably thinking like, the heater's just been programmed. Right? The thermostat's just been programmed. We plug in a particular response that it's supposed to have once the temperature reaches a certain degree. Now, okay, fair enough. But the physicalist is probably going to respond by saying, well, so are you. You're programmed. You came into this world at a particular time, in a particular place, to a particular family that raised you in a particular way and influenced with your environmental conditions the biological, psychological profile that is you, and all of the totality of your psychological, biological circumstances combined with your experiences and environment essentially kind of programmed you. Had you been raised in a different time by a different family and had completely different experiences of culture, you might be a fundamentally different person, aside from whatever inherent qualities or features your biology has manifest in you. So again, the physicalist is going to look at all of these circumstances and say, if physicalism is true, then all events that occur are caused to occur by previous sets of circumstances or events. And that is the case for the thermostat, and that is the case for the person. They're just differences in kind. The human being is far more complex than the thermostat, but essentially the same phenomenon is happening. The thermostat, the bird, the amoeba, they are responding to the conditions in the way that they have essentially been programmed to respond to them, either by manual programming in the heater thermostat or by instinct. And human beings are similarly kind of programmed. So think about that. If physicalism is true, then it would seem like this line of thinking about the nature of belief and what exactly that experience is would also have to be true.